We want to make sure that people feel, welcome, and not just welcome as guests, but that this is really a space that belongs to them, where their stories, their histories, the stories of their families and their ancestors and their community are really reflected back on the wall. The mission of History Colorado is to really utilize history and the power of history to be able to make connections with individuals, to really inspire our future as a state and what it means to be a Coloradoan.
I would describe History Colorado's mission as not only collecting the stories of Colorado's history, but also digging deep into the communities throughout the state to find the stories that have been left out of history, to really ignite the passion for learning about Colorado's past.
History Colorado has presence throughout the state, and so I feel like anywhere you go, we're going to be able to impact you as a resident or as a visitor and learn a little bit more about our state.
We embrace at Fort Garland our designation as one of History Colorado's community museums, and we really believe strongly in that word community, meaning that for us it's really important not only to share the history of the entire state, but really to localize it, regionalize it, so that we can amplify the voices of Southern Colorado. As a museum, collections are a big part of what we do, whether that's collections of artifacts, whether it's collections of historic sites, whether it's the stories that we tell. We want to make sure that the work that we're doing in collecting a diverse range of stories and artifacts that tell all aspects of Colorado's history.
When you typically go into a museum, you're there to see exhibits, and it's quiet and it's seems very sterile. But at our site, we encourage people to come in, ask questions, be part of our activities.
Every program we've done is really intentional because we want people to think critically about Colorado's past.
San Luis is one of the oldest communities in Colorado. It is the oldest town in Colorado. And the problem is it's often silenced in curriculums across the state. What we wanted to do as a district, and History Colorado and their vision really supported and embraced, was creating a hyper-localized curriculum that would not only elevate the voices and stories of our community so our students can feel that sense of pride and see themselves reflected in what they're learning about and learning about the state and gain a sense of agency from that, but students from across the state could gain that as well.
My son William has been coming to the History Colorado hands-on history program for about 3 or 4 years now. I was really excited because our family loves history and it seemed like it was right up our alley. We are a homeschooling family too. So anytime that we can work a little bit of an educational aspect of things into our fun stuff, that's really a big help. This is his place. If you ask him what his favorite place ever is, it's here.
We try to think of our exhibits in a way that our community would feel represented. We want to give them a rich history of the different cultures and the different ethnicities that have lived in Pueblo, including themselves.
We really try to include all voices through Museum of Memory projects or community events.
That idea that we're not necessarily the ultimate authority in the story, but that we can facilitate conversation and storytelling to be able to share the community's story.